the soul of a nation. When we look closely at the Book of Mormon, one of the most compelling evidences for its authenticity as an ancient record is the consistent editorial voice of Mormon and Moroni. These two prophets did not simply narrate stories, they documented, abridged, and carefully organized centuries of records. Throughout the text, they speak directly to future readers, explaining their methods, their limitations, and their reasons for preserving what they did. For example, Mormon often interrupts the narrative to describe his process. He tells us plainly, "I made this record out of the plates of Nephi," showing he was aware of and working from earlier sources. He acknowledges that he is not including everything, saying, "I cannot write the 100th part of the things of my people." This isn't the voice of an invented narrator. It's the language of an editor facing the overwhelming task of condensing generations of history. Mormon also shares personal feelings that are both sorrowful and sincere. In one of the most poignant passages, he mourns the destruction of his people, crying out, "O ye fair ones, how could ye have rejected that Jesus who stood with open arms to receive you?" This is the authentic grief of a witness to national collapse. Moroni, who finished the record after his father's death, also demonstrates a clear awareness of his role. He explains, "I, Moroni, do finish the record of my father Mormon," and he describes the danger he faced as the last survivor. He admits his loneliness, saying, "I remain alone to write the sad tale of the destruction of my people." These personal declarations create a consistent, credible voice across decades of record-keeping. Moroni also expresses anxiety about his limitations. In the Book of Ether, he says, "When we write, we behold our weakness and stumble because of the placing of our words." This humble acknowledgement of imperfection is the opposite of the confident tone you'd expect from a fictional narrator invented to sound authoritative. Both Mormon and Moroni repeatedly state their purpose: to persuade all people to believe in Christ. Mormon writes, "For this cause I write unto you," and Moroni closes the record with a powerful invitation: "When ye shall read these things, ask God, if these things are not true." They never claim authorship of the material itself, but rather their role as compilers and editors preserving sacred history for a future generation. Taken together, their editorial comments, personal reflections, and transparent explanations create a consistent, authentic framework that is very hard to fake. It shows an ancient record-keeping culture, a thoughtful editorial process, and the emotional reality of two men who saw the rise and fall of civilizations. This depth of voice and detail makes it extremely unlikely that the Book of Mormon could have been fabricated by a young man in the 19th century without access to ancient models or training in the literary conventions of scriptural compilation. Instead, it powerfully supports the claim that it is exactly what it declares itself to be: a true record of real people, carefully preserved to testify of Jesus Christ. Please continue to the warfare video. Videos 31.30a, b, and c are the warfare videos and serve as witness to the Book of Mormon. Nearly 170 pages, a full third, of the Book of Mormon is devoted to military content. The scope and precision are staggering. In the next three shorts, explore 31.30a multi-layered national defense system, including preemptive fortification and protection of supply lines. 31.30b tactical maneuvers and battlefield psychology. 31.30c intelligence, deception, and campaign logistics.